guys, Preacher 357 here, out here on the range with a gun I've been wanting to try out ever since it hit the market, and that is the Springfield Echelon. And when I first saw this on the market, I thought this was going to be a fairly small gun. Even if it was a longer grip and all, I thought it was going to probably be a very narrow, very thin gun. And it is somewhat compared to some guns. But really, it's a full-size gun. I mean, it's a full grip, a fairly wide slide. I mean, it's maybe a little smaller than like a Glock 17, probably, but not by much. It really is a full-size gun. And looks like something they have created to be a duty gun, you know, say for police or what have you. And I've heard some good things about it. In fact, when I picked this one up, the guy at the gun shop there, a direct hit on the south side of town, talking about people really liking this gun, and heard a lot of good things about it, and he was really interested in it, and he wanted to know what I thought about it. And he was looking forward to watching the video and you know, seeing what I thought. And so far I have not shot it much, but I like it. The trigger on this gun is pretty good. It is light, we'll put it that way. My gauge is reading it at like 3.5 pounds. I'm having a hard time believing that because it feels heavier than 3.5 to me. But it may not be. But it's not as crisp as some that I felt. For instance, it feels about maybe the same weight as that Canik TP9 Elite. That TP9 SF Elite that I reviewed, that had such an amazing trigger on it. But this break is not nearly as crisp as that one. That one had a really nice break, and this one has a little bit of creep to it. You feel it move some before it actually breaks. But other than that, I mean, it seems to be a good shooter. I put it on paper just a minute ago. You saw that at the first of the video, and now, that wasn't too bad shooting. That was the first time shooting it right out of the box. Never had done anything with it before. Just cold, and I think the first few shots were like bullseyes. So, you know, that's not too bad for this gun. And so I'm going to do a little bit more shooting with it and see how I like it. But before we do that, if you'd like to help support my channel, because guns and ammo are expensive, I've got a link in my description of this video and all my videos going forward for Weatherbeard Supply Company. They sell beard care products. If you'd like to have a nice, wonderful beard the way I do, that's soft and that you can really enjoy, those beard care products will really help you with that. I've been using them for about a year now. And if you use the link that I put in the description, I'll get a little bit of the proceeds to help offset my costs on this channel, and you'll also get 10% off on your purchase as long as you make sure it says Preacher 357 at checkout. If it doesn't say that on there, you can even put that code in, Preacher 357, and get 10% off. So also, if you look at the description, as always, I've got links there for the GOA, the Gun Owners of America. I've got a discounted membership link there that you can use, and the TFA, the Tennessee Firearms Association. If you live in the great state of Tennessee like I do, you can join up and get to fighting on the state level as well, as those groups are working really hard, and unfortunately it takes money to get things done. So if you join up, that helps us out a great deal. But not just join, you know, donate money, donate time, get involved. But I've got those links there, but I don't get any kickbacks from the GOA or TFA. I never take any money from them. So well, let's go over here and do a little bit of shooting. One thing about this gun, before we get started, you'll see the magazines here, they have like a base plate on them that's rather large. It's almost like the base plates that they put on the, get it in the shot there, that they put on the 10-round magazines that they sell in the states that don't allow anything above 10 rounds. You know, they're like they put them at the bottom to take up space, so they're still a full-size magazine. And that's kind of what that looks like, except, you know, this is a 15 round magazine. But for a gun this size, you would kind of expect it to be about a 17 round, like a Glock 17. But it's not, it's only a 15 rounder, and it looks like they could have made a 17 rounder out of it, or at least a 16 rounder, but for whatever reason they decided not to. But anyway, I guess 15 rounds, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the likelihood you'll need 17 over 15 is pretty low. I mean, you can't solve it with 15, you're probably not going to solve it with 17 either, but just the same, I don't think anyone's ever said, boy, I just wish I had a few less rounds, you know. Let's do a little bit of shooting here. One thing I do like about the Echelon here is it's fairly molded. You know, it's fairly slick on the sides, I guess you could say. And I don't mean slick, there's no texture. I mean, there's just nothing sticking out. Even the takedown here is very well molded into the side of the frame where you don't really feel it. Sometimes those things stick out and they bother me, but not on this gun. It feels like you wouldn't snag it on anything if you were drawing. But it does have some nice texturing, some nice place to put your finger, to index your finger on, some index pads there. Good texture on the grip. So there's a lot of good things about this gun. Let's just do a little bit of shooting here. See if I can still hit anything with this. All right. This little one. There we go. Yeah, I'm having to take a 6 o'clock hold on the big targets. When you get those little bitty tiny targets, a 6 o'clock becomes way below the target, so it makes it a little harder to hit those little bitty ones. But I'd rather have to take a 6 o'clock than take a 12 o'clock any day. Let's try the cowboy here. Went to 35. Not too bad. I pulled a few of those, but not too bad at all. Let's load up a few more rounds here. It is a pretty good shooter. I don't know if it's as good as that Canic, because that trigger was just amazing on that thing. Of course, you know, everybody's known that for a long time now. Those guns have been out for over a decade. But, you know, Springfield has not done a bad job with this at all. I never owned one of their XD series, but I had a cousin who did, and so I have shot those. And I didn't dislike the XDs. There was a guy I knew that actually had an XD, I think it was an XDM with a 5-inch barrel. I'm going back about 10 years now. And so I may not be right about that. And I remember it was in 40, I remember that, but it was a pretty good shooter. I remember really liking that gun. But, you know, this gun here seems like a pretty good shooter in its own right. And it seems pretty sturdy, it seems pretty rugged. Of course, it's got the optics plate already on here. And my understanding is it's got a really great mounting system where you don't have to have a bunch of different plates, but with the way they've got it, you just use the right screws for whatever optic you want to mount. You can mount a whole lot of different ones on here without having to buy plates and all that stuff. So if you're into optics on your handguns, this might be the gun for you. But I'm just going to shoot with iron sights because I'm old-fashioned, stuck in my ways, don't like to change. Let's go out here to 100. All right, that was low. I'm going to bring it up a little bit now. Still low. That one's still low. There we go. Yeah, I'm having to hold really low up here, but out there, I'm having to bring it up because I'm getting some drop, I guess. Yep, just had to get the elevation. All right, let's try this one at 80. A little bit bigger of a challenge here. Maybe I can figure it out. Whoa, that was way low and pulled it to the right, to the left too. Well, can't really tell where I'm going. I saw that one. Saw that and got to bring it up a little more. Yeah, I'm going all the way around it. A little high, a little low, a little left, a little right. Yeah, I never could find a range on that, but that's all right. I'm sure this gun was not designed to shoot a plate at 80 yards. That one's a little tough. Unless your gun is just absolutely just right on. That one can be hard to hit. I'm gonna load up one more magazine and shoot right up here. I mean, all in all, I think I like the gun. I don't know that I like it as well as a few others that I've shot, but it's not far behind. I mean, if I was choosing a duty gun, you know, I don't think this would be a bad option. To be perfectly honest, I don't know that I wouldn't just choose a Glock myself. I'm not a Glock guy, but it's kind of a bare bones, you know, no nonsense kind of choice, and you know. But you know, I wouldn't have any problem considering this one. Put it that way. You know what? I'm going to shoot just a few more over here at the 80-yard plate, just to see if I can't figure it out. All right, I finally walked one in. So let's just finish up over here. Put the sights on the target or you're not going to hit. All right, guys. Well, I think I have shot enough to have a pretty good opinion of this gun. I like it. I do. I think Springfield has done a good job with the Echelon. It was not what I was expecting. I was expecting a smaller gun, and that it's not. It's pretty good size, but you know, it fits my hand pretty well. It's pretty ergonomic. It feels pretty good. I don't know if I shoot it as well as maybe that Canik TP9SF, but I shot it pretty well. Of course, out at distance, you know, the elevation was a problem, but I wouldn't be shooting at 100 and at 80 yards with a duty weapon anyway, if I was, you know, carrying for work, or if I was a police officer, a security guard, or whatever. I think this would serve as a good home defense gun as well, and you're not going to shoot it 100 yards in home defense either. So, you know, and close up, it's not bad. The sights are pretty well where they kind of need to be, or where I sort of like them, generally speaking. You know, right at 6 o'clock. So there it is, the Springfield Echelon. You know, and it's not a bad looking gun either. You know, sometimes function's more important than form. I think that's Glock's motto. But it doesn't hurt if it's a decent looking gun too. You know, and this is. You know, the design of this is appealing. I'll give it that. So there it is, the Springfield Echelon. Pretty good gun. I like it pretty well. Don't know that I'll keep it. Probably not, because I don't keep very many polymer frame striker fired guns because they're just not my favorite thing, even though I review a ton of them because that's the most popular thing on the market and they're all over the place. And if I'm going to review the new guns, the guns that people are interested in seeing, then I got to review these too. But I don't hate them, you know. I do have a few of my own and have had some for a long time, so I just don't feel the need to have tons of them. So probably not keeping it, but still a nice gun. Guys, appreciate you coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.